Hey, good morning, everyone. It is Friday. That means it's training day. 20 years of doing this, I can't forget. It's at 11 a.m. today, Pacific time, so that's about 3 hours from now. You can catch the Perfect Pitch competition 2-minute drill. We're doing the pilot show for Bloomberg and for all the airports and hotel rooms. It's going to get great distribution, and we're going to teach a lot of people how to pitch everything from how to eat your broccoli to your kids to billion-dollar deals. If you have not joined for free, all you got to do is email me, david@dmeltzer.com. You can join my text community at 949-298-2905. I pinned it below for everyone. Good morning, Hurricane. Good morning, Colleen. Excited to see and be back in the studio as well. Jesse, good morning. Congratulations to you. Happy to help everyone. Let's get to a few questions. Get warmed up for training today. David@dmeltzer.com. Get your guides, exercises for all of our trainings for free at David@dmeltzer as well. What does it mean to bend time? So time is relative. Time is relative in the construct of your mind. It is a man-made construct according to 60 seconds a minute, 60 minutes an hour, 24 hours a day, 365 and a quarter days a year, etc. That's a man-made construct. And so if you can bend time with productivity, accessibility, and gratitude, bend time with math, bend time with relativity, you can get more done. You can utilize your perspective, perceive value of time just like the perceive value of money. Money and time do not disappear as far as they are energy. What you do with it in the perception allows you to bend it. And it's a practice for a lifetime to do that. How important is your diet? From what I've seen, heard, and experienced myself, it's about 80% of the gig. Diet, it's what you put in allows you to what you put out. And so, diets, though, are particular to each individual. You have your own footprint, your own fingerprint, and you have your own diet needs. So listen to your own body and see what your body needs and how it best feels good and looks good. Obviously, there's so many great tests out there, food sensitivity tests and all types of blood tests that you can take to see where you're deficient within your own quantum being, your own genetics. What time is the 2-minute drill pilot? That's today at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Today, just go to david@dmeltzer.com and we will get you all set up there, or text 949-298-2905. Join me. It's going to be for great distribution. The first pilot, and we'll be launching the TV show in January, filming in November and December. This is the pilot, so check it out with the new studio, the new stage. It's going to be exciting. Keep it coming on. These questions are great. Let's see here. What are 3 aspects of a quality pitch? First, credibility is the number one aspect. The closer you come to 100% credible, then everything you say after that is taken as truth, and people will be able to be stimulated by what you say. Second is the emotional attachment. Use a different part of people's minds. So teach lessons and stories, get an emotional attachment, find out what they like and what they don't like about it by asking the necessary questions, by being more interested than interesting. And then third, quantify things, but not just quantify, be able to articulate the quantification, not the perceived value, not the subjective value like the purpose dinosaur. That's right, Barney. I love you. You love me. Nobody makes any money, but real value. Quantify, articulate, and quantify real value based upon the reason somebody should invest or do what you want to do, the impact that it's going to have, and of course the capabilities that you have. That's where you use features and benefits to articulate the quantitative value, not to oversell, back end sell, lie, manipulate, cheat, etc. Let's keep them coming. Keep the questions coming. It's Friday, 11 a.m. Catch me on the pitch training. Road to Revenue and Happiness is here for 20 years. We've been doing it, and it's free. So just join me, david@dmeltzer.com. Go ahead, pin below. You can get a hold of me. Can you explain your definition of synergy? Synergy is alignment of energy. It's that simple. When we have synergistic or supplementary, synergistic is aligned energy, supplementary is adding to the energy. You are aligned with usually the core values, personal, experiential, giving, and receiving values. Your capabilities can be synergistic. Your skills can be synergistic to the skills that are necessary for an opportunity. Your knowledge can be synergistic, what you know or who you know. And of course, your desire can be synergistic. Aligned with, supplementary means added to. So keep those in mind and look for those when we're doing stuff. Let's see here. Dave, what should I do to grow my podcast? Anxiety driven, would love to have you on. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. I have great private groups and private training and coaching, but I will be happy to be a guest on your show, Anxiety Driven. David@dmeltzer.com. Reach out, happy to help. Let's see here. Looking for my friends. They're coming on. Is Ingrid here? Let's see. I'm looking. My dear friends are here. There we go. Alrighty. And my Two Front, Ingrid Mira, the CEO of Two Front. And I love the mission. There she is. Hi.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Welcome to my live. And what a great opportunity to have you on for a Friday. You and I, somebody asked, what does a synergy mean? You and I have synergistic missions. So this is a classic example to portray that mission, to spread confidence and joy, but in a different way. And I believe one of the key components of being happy is your smile, and it's free to give. Tell me about how you're applying my mission, our mission, should I say, to orthodontistry. Is that how I say it?
It's one of the things, orthodontics, orthodontistry, orthodontia. I generally tend to go with orthodontics, but you can kind of say whatever you want.
I like it.
Yeah.
And you have a beautiful smile, by the way.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Where do I start? So I decided to become an orthodontist for the exact that we all did, all orthodontists. We went through this life-transforming opportunity, which is you go through metal mouth, you emerge with this amazing smile. You suddenly are confident. You're suddenly smiling more. You're this 12-year-old, super insecure little kid, and you realize this opens up a world of opportunities for you. So I decided that forever ago. I was like, I'm going to give this gift of a beautiful smile to, for a living. 20 years later, basically the world has turned over on its head, and we can now do everything with clear lines braces, which is amazing because everything that comes with orthodontics, we're not, traditionally the shame, the brace space, pokey wires, monthly visits. We don't need that anymore. We can actually do everything with clear aligners, which is amazing because it opens up the gift of giving a beautiful smile, not just to kids, but to everyone. I've got patients who are up to 84 years old. But at a bigger scale here, outside of a private practice, the average orthodontist is $500,000 in debt, which is why going to an orthodontist to do Invisalign is so expensive. I was working in Manhattan, charging anywhere between $10,000 to $15,000. But then, that's the reason why these companies like Smile Direct Club and Candid and Bite are exploding, which doesn't deliver high quality care because you don't have an orthodontist, you don't have in-person visits. It's a lot harder than that. I was basically, long story short, I was going through residency being like, oh, this is super cool. This like big company is trying to do what we're doing, but like cooler with a brand. And then I was like, wait, but where are all the orthodontists?
Right.
And I was like, wait, these are false promises. Beautiful smile in 6 months or less. Tooth movement is actually a biological function. It's a property of you. No company can make your teeth move faster. So long story short, I was like, okay, everyone wants a beautiful smile. That's obvious. What we're doing is too expensive. What tech companies are doing doesn't work. But their value propositions are what everyone wants. So that's why I started Two Front, to give people what they want, which is high quality orthodontic care with clear aligners, while delivering modern care. So with technology, making it convenient with virtual visits, with the brands, and just making it fun. It's this like dreaded experience. And I'm like, we're literally giving you the gift of smiling. Why is it this like, antiquated thing that we've been doing for like 100 years? So here we are, open in Los Angeles. Thanks for bearing with me to kind of just talk at you.
No, that's extraordinary because, I teach people that happiness itself is a virus. And to me, a smile is a virus. It spreads simply by witnessing it. So if you witness someone smiling, you actually smile yourself. And so there's such extreme value in being able to be confident in your own smile, to use it as an asset, to use it as a tool to help people feel good. And as you said, it's interesting because so many companies forget one thing about this digital revolution that has been accelerated over the last 6 months because of the pandemic, is they forget that the more that we utilize technology, the more we have to use one capability, which you seem to have, which is empathy. That there's a human aspect to complementing, synergistic, supplementary value that a human being, a well-trained human being that goes to med school and orthodontistry school and has, studied how the human functionality affects the way we smile, can apply that technology. And that technology itself is not going to be a solution without that human interaction. But yet you've taken it from, the telemedicine to the fitting to the experience itself, and from airplane rides to plain dentistry to orthodontistry to or orthodontics, whatever. It's amazing because more young entrepreneurs, and that's what you are, a young entrepreneur who has taken her skills, her extreme knowledge of what and who, and her desire to help people because she had a personal need or experience. And here you are, I think, revolutionizing something that's been around for over 100 years, and you're going to impact and change lives. At your age, taking on Two Front, do you see the significance of what you're doing already, or does it pass you by that you actually, in your own little part, will change literally an entire collective consciousness of happiness?
Um, when you say your age, I'm like, am I old? Am I young? I don't
You're
know.
young. You're young.
So sorry. The question is
The
how.
impact, are you cognizant of, and I want other entrepreneurs to be cognizant of, sometimes I think we diminish our capacity of being able to utilize a business like Two Front that actually can change, have a tremendous impact on our country and change the world. And when Bill Gates was young and he started Microsoft, I always wonder, did he ever fathom that what he's doing can change an entire world? And what you're doing, in my opinion, that business has been around a long time, and we need to rethink all of these traditional businesses. And it seems as if, to me, you're going to have a tremendous impact throughout the world when people see what you're doing and showing how you apply empathy into this digital revolution.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, it's funny. It's like, yeah, you got to like take a step back as we're so like in the weeds with everything and we're so small. Like we're in Santa Monica right now and we're serving Los Angeles. But yeah, I mean, the goal, like if we can figure out the playbook here, obviously the goal is to expand nationally, globally, like really deliver high quality care to everyone. And yeah, I mean, it's a crazy thing to think, but like down the line, it could be amazing. Hopefully sooner rather than later. But yeah, I mean, we're seeing patients in Los Angeles, and it is so exciting to see kind of that we are able to deliver this high quality care and change people's lives already. Yeah, it's great.
Last question. I love the fact that you call it an operating system, and the fact you've created an operating system for a smile. Why or how did you define it as an operating system instead of a medical practice?
Yeah, I mean, because for so there's two real sides of the business here. One is delivering, the highest quality clear aligner treatment in a modern way to patients. But what the other side of this is empowering orthodontists. Like I said, for me, it was mind blowing to go through residency and like, we're in residency until we're 30. It's 11 years of higher education to become an orthodontist. And the average is $419,000 in student debt, not the median. And I confirmed last week with the American Association of Orthodontists that orthodontists are upwards of over $900,000 in student debt. So no one becomes an orthodontist to be, to work at a big organization and, be an employee and pay $7,000 a month in student loan bills. And so the reason why it's an operating system is because what I'm trying to build here it's not a system to employ orthodontists. It's to empower them. Like every orthodontist becomes an orthodontist to be a small business owner, to own their own, to, treat patients well, and to have the flexibility and financial upside that comes with being your own boss. So the fact that it's an operating system means we're building all the tools that they need to deliver the highest quality care, with us providing centralized customer support, us providing, we've built an EMR where they can actually, an electronic medical record system where they can communicate with their patients. We take care of the logistics, the brand, we take care of, we give you the space to rent for when you get a patient booked in your schedule. We take care of billing, scheduling. So it truly is an operating system in the sense that we give you absolutely everything we need. It's your patient. We take a margin that's lower than the average margin across the country, and you have the ability to make a lot of money as an orthodontist if you actually grow within this ecosystem.
That is amazing. And I can see the comments. I don't think anyone really understood what investment it took in yourself to become an orthodontist and what sacrifice that most doctors take to be of service to others and to create such, what's so wonderful about what you're doing is to create not only an operating system to help other people have better solutions for their smiles that have been historically difficult and expensive over the years, but also empowering your entire industry. So I wanted to congratulate you. You are the epitome of a great entrepreneur, and I look forward to seeing your growth and how you scale the business, and happy to help however I can. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much. This has been great. It was very good.
You're awesome. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too.
Well, proof's in the pudding because she has one of the prettiest smiles I've ever seen, and obviously dedicated to help other people, made an investment in herself for others, empowering others to empower others to be happy and to smile. And maybe you'll take that to heart today and make that your lesson for the day. We're going to teach about happiness, the road to revenue and happiness, teaching you how to pitch. Today at 11 a.m., which is only about 3 hours from now, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. If you miss it, just check it out on Spotify or on Entrepreneur, top downloaded podcast. The playbook is the training. So check that out. If you want the exercises, guides, or books, just email me. If you want to join us for the training every Friday, over 20 years of doing it for free, david@dmeltzer.com, or join our text community, 949-298-2905. Thank you, everybody. All right, here we go. How do you go about goal setting? The first step in goal setting is to know what you want. And so you need to take inventory of your values every day. Personal values, experiential values, know your non-negotiables, your receiving and giving values, which are one. And once you know your what, then you can go ahead and connect the dots backwards from the what and make a plan to be productive, accessible, and gracious in the pursuit and enjoyment of that consistently every day, persistently, without quit. So take inventory of values is the first step. When did you realize you wanted to become a speaker? Oh, I don't think I've ever wanted to become a speaker. I think I have evolved as a speaker and expressing myself and the genius that comes through me to other people. And so since I've been young, number one, I like the attention, but two, I would like to impact people, empower people. And so speaking as a profession has become a side gig that people have asked me to do, and more ask me to do it around the world. And I'm blessed to be able to do so. Where does imagination play a role in manifestation? It's the first step. So you go from nothing, not knowing what you want, to imagining what you want. That difference is a mathematical difference. It's called a possibility. From nothingness to a possibility is a mathematical advantage. From possibility to probability is another mathematical advantage, which goes from motivation transitioning to inspiration. And then materializing that, dreaming about what we want in that probability. There's only one thing: strategy, awareness, and discipline that will materialize it into our reality or our perspective. Possibility to probability to perspective. Keep the questions coming. We'll see you soon. What do you think of cryptocurrencies? I don't know enough about it, but I can get you in touch with someone that does. What do you think of Bitcoin? Same thing. Don't know enough about it, but I can absolutely introduce you to experts in those spaces. David@dmeltzer.com. More than happy to put you in touch with someone that really knows what they're talking about. What is the best advice for young people like us? Be radically humble. Ask for help. Best piece of advice I could give to you or me at 27, 37, 47, 57, 17, 7. Ask for help. Ask for help. Be grateful and ask for help. Say thank you before you go to bed and when you wake up. Ask for people for help that sit in the situation that you want to be in or have what you want, and ask them for help to give it to you or to teach you how to get it. Ask, 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 ask. The worst thing they can say is no. Find someone else if they do. Most people want to help you. And the younger you are, the more likely they will be to help you as well. What time is the 2-minute drill pilot? Once again, 11 a.m., about 3.5 hours from now, today. How do you work tough toxicity? So for me, it's a range. Toxicity is a range. So I utilize 3 things. I identify if someone's feeding me, I feed it. I identify if they're lightening my load or making my load heavier, as my friend Mike Mamola taught me today, right? A very simple, distinguished thing. Hey, are you making my load heavier or are you making my load lighter? And then I go ahead and I look for understanding regardless of what's causing them to make it lighter or heavier. And then I pray for their happiness. And I either load more onto them to help, or I let them fall away in a gentle spectrum and variance, or I fire them from my life, get rid of them, run away. This is the best way that we do that. I am looking, oh, here we go. Sorry, I was getting so caught up there. I was looking for Lucas, and he's right in here somewhere. I believe so. Let me find Lucas. Sorry. There he is. What's up? All right. 1 minute behind schedule, but let's pick it up with my friend Lucas Rubix with the Lucas Rubix app. And here he is. Nice beard, brother.
Thank you. I was thinking you were having some fun there saying that she's got a beautiful smile. I'm like, I don't know if I can top that smile. My beard half covers it.
Yeah. You can't top. I can't top that smile either, but that's okay, right? Now you and I share a skill helping other people with their businesses. A more and more popular realm of freelancing is business coach. And I always say that the best business coaches sit in a situation that other people want to be in. There seems to be a lot of people that I coach that want to be business coaches. And the first question I ask them is, what are your capabilities? What are your skills? What are your knowledge? And what's your desire? And then we can determine what spectrum of people you can help. But a lot of people are romanticized about being a business case. So constructively, pragmatically, what are the skills, knowledge, and desire that you have as a business coach to help others?
Cool, great. And right before I get into that, you said this one thing of asking for help.
Yeah.
And I pushed that away from my life so hard because I thought I was really small. And I'm like, who would ever help me? And when we started connecting with bigger guests or just the business started expanding, I was so humbled by how accessible, extremely busy, extremely successful people make themselves and how willing they are to help. So whatever you just said there, for everyone in here, write that down, because I wish I would have driven that point home sooner of you don't have to do it yourself.
let me double back on you too, because my mom had a great piece of advice for me when I was young. She said, if you want something done, ask somebody that's busy. And that's why I changed my perspective to I'm not busy, I'm accessible, I'm very active. I have activity I get paid for and activity I don't, but I remain accessible and productive with a gracious attitude and perspective. So I think those blend together very nicely.
Yeah, I love that. You've got so much wisdom. I'm going to the website and it's just value. When you ask me what my skill set is, I can really briefly talk about the story because I never planned on being a business coach. I sometimes cringe at the business coach thing because I'm not necessarily a business coach. You've got 40 years experience and you've got $120 million of stuff you've done. I'm really good at 3 things: is really amplifying the message. So if you have a story, which I think everyone has a story, for everyone in here who's trying to start a business, if you've got a story, the only I call the story the connector, is to amplify that, to find marketing channels that align with you and make sure we get that out there. So I was a personal trainer way back in the day, and I had no problem getting clients. Like, I just picked up the knack for it. I read sales and marketing. It made sense to me. You got to learn how to get clients to get paid. And I focused more on how to get clients than how to get really good as a trainer. And I got really good as a trainer because I worked with a lot of clients. And I didn't plan on getting into, we'll call it business coaching, but I think it's more sales and marketing. And alignment is a big piece of what I do. Sales and marketing is easy. Anyone can construct a website, construct a landing page, a sales page, an email. But it's that alignment, mind and soul. And you talk about alignment a lot too, I think. That if you're not consistent with it, if you're waking up and you're up and down and you don't truly know what you want, or you're saying you want something, but every belief in your body and in your nervous system is going against that, you're never going to succeed. So we do two things. The sales and marketing, like, in all honesty, read a book about it. It's easy. I always say information should be free. It's implementation people pay for. The information is up there. Like you've got a YouTube channel that you share so much wisdom. Just go on your YouTube channel, grab the information, get help with the implementation. But the sales and the marketing is the easy part. Anyone can do it. But I think the longer I've been doing this, the more the alignment piece is missing for so many people. And call it luck or stubbornness. Like, I somehow figured that out for myself. And when I started realizing that people have all the knowledge they need, and some are taking action, like they're working 10, 12 hours a day. Why does someone who worked 10 hours a day for a week or for 10 years and someone else who works 10 hours a day for 10 years, what does this person see drastically different results? There's strategy, there's help, there's things that can happen, lucky breaks, but at the end of the day, there's alignment, there's consistency within. So that's the core of what we do. But to make people understand it, it's sales, marketing, and we help you get more clients because that's the easiest way to communicate that.
That's awesome. And you mentioned earlier, part of that implementation is understanding we get alignment through telling stories and listening, right? God gave us only one mouth, but two ears.
Right.
And I always say telling and listening to a story are the key two components of understanding the portion of the brain that we utilize that, number one, remembers things far greater than any other part of our brain. We remember stories, but it also, as you know, in sales, one of the lessons that you can learn, difficult to implement, is people buy an emotion for logical reasons, and a story enacts that emotional connection. And you talked about that connection, that alignment, and in what you coach and mentor with people is, hey, look, we can learn all the facts and figures and knowledge, but allow me to teach you how to tell and listen. And connect emotionally and provide the value using the techniques that you've learned. For you, what is that great implementation lesson? Where's your key focus when I come to you and say, look, I've been in sales 10 years, been in the top third, but I'd see myself as a journeyman, and I've noticed there's some eagles that have always been around me in every sales force. How do I become an eagle and implement like they do? What's the number one thing, your go-to that says, here's a difference maker?
Cool. Okay, so my background is on the oil rigs. I worked up north on the oil rigs for 6 years, worked my way up.
So you made real money.
I made real money. I did that till I was 24 or 25, and I was so miserable. I could go into the story. I won't. I'll spare you it. But it was just, I was so freaking miserable and didn't know what I wanted to do. But what I started realizing is we start learning patterns. So the people I was around, the environment I was in, taught me a series of scripts and a series of programming that did not serve me in business. I'm talking lone wolf mentality. I'm talking about, there really was no team up there. You're in a team, but you're not. Everyone's doing their own thing. And so when I quit that, most of the pain, as I was trying to figure out, we could get tactical about talking about, like you said, what are the skills and how can we develop it? But most of it was trying to figure out what I truly wanted. Like, what did I want? What does my business look like? Not from what Gary Vee or from, love them all, but that's their lifestyle. That's what they want. And I got caught up for a while of trying to build something like they have. And because I was completely misaligned, every day felt like work. I almost fantasized about, I want to go back to the rigs because at least I had easy money and there was always a paycheck and it's just as hard. So I think for most people, if this is answering your question, is the first place we dive into is internal. Like, what do you actually want? What does your business look like? How many hours do you want to work? Like, I was watching a video a few days ago. They said a part-timer to me is someone who works 60 hours or less. And that can be true if you want a lifestyle where you're working 60, 80 hours a week. And it's necessary maybe at first, but I think it's just with the social media. If social media went away, I would not be bummed out about it. It would be a whole different game. That'd be a level playing field, and we'd find ways to market without social media. but I feel because I know what it's like. So we're always trying to copy. So if you can really ask yourself those hard questions, what do I want? What am I actually good at? Sometimes we're thinking 5 steps ahead and we want to be this over here, but do we actually have the skills? Like, do we actually have the skills? Do we even want to be entrepreneurs? Like, ask yourself that question, because you might not want to. You might want to team up with someone like yourself who's already on their way up, and you could team up, add a bunch of value to you, and get paid really well for it. I think there's a few people who are just stubborn, and I mean, I can't imagine having a boss, and like, go your path, do your thing. So it's really asking those hard questions, like, what do you actually want? Where are you right now? Intense realism. Like, we're talking stoicism here, but intense realism of where are you actually at, and get real. Like, no more posting on social media pretending your life is great. Where are you for real? Where's your bank account? Where's your skills? Where's your energy? Are you up and down? Where are you energetically? Where's your frequency at? Let's fix all that first before we worry about how do we make 100 grand a month.
I love that. And I think beyond taking inventory of your values and being, self-reflective and loving yourself, is that once you find out where you're at, I think it's really important to tell yourself, I'm happy where I'm at, right? I'm going to angle for something better and have faith that I'm going to end up somewhere better than that. And it doesn't have to be where Gary Vee or David Meltzer or Ed Milet is. It could be your own route. And, that's why I love James Clear. And I've utilized, his idea of voting, because I think one of the best piece of advice that I find most human beings, they either vote for what other people want for them, they vote for what other people have, or they vote for what they don't want. And they don't realize that those people who, quote unquote, work, I believe in activity I get paid for, activity I don't, but those who perceive themselves as working, they are creating, through the law of Goya, getting off their ass 60 hours a week, a vacuum. And they don't realize that all of their effort is actually working against them, because they're voting for what Dave Meltzer has, or they're voting for what their mommy wants for them, or their friends want for them, or even worse, most commonly, because of fear, they're voting for what they don't want. And then they're so disappointed and resentful when they get what they don't want, or what other people want for them, or what they thought they wanted. So I think that is tremendous advice, Lucas. Where can people find you?
There.
Go ahead.
Oh, apologize. You said one thing in there of in the start of being happy with where you're at. That's something I struggle with for a very long time, and it's something that I still need to watch, because I'm so ambitious and I'm always looking at the future. I work with 2 coaches, two times a week, one each, to just help me with literally gratitude. That was probably one of the hardest things for me, and I think this culture created that. And ever since I started tapping more into that, of like, yes, I may not be content, I may not, what's the word? Ron Proctor uses all the time, but it's okay to want more. But if it crosses that threshold of like, I'm not enough now, or just like I'm in pain because I'm not there, you're working against yourself. And that was probably the biggest lesson I learned in 2020. We tripled our business, and I swear to God, it's not anything to do with the economy. It's gratitude. I woke up in such a high state, like just so excited, even when it's hard, because it's hard.
Yeah.
And even when things are happening and you got problems and internal problems, you're like team problems, you're just kind of, it doesn't feel like work anymore. And that's the most beautiful thing that I've learned this year.
I love that. Just to let you go, I got to tell you, because you nailed 2 things. I joke that I've been made popular for 2 lessons that change lives, and they're lessons that everybody's learned before they were 3. 1, say thank you, and 2, ask for what you want, dear. Right? And those 2 lessons everybody learns before 3. But you are one of the best business coaches, and you're still having problems with saying thank you and asking for help. Everybody, check out. Where can they find you, Lucas?
LucasRubix.com.
There you go, lucasrubix.com. Come join me again, my friend. You're welcome to come into our private group. I'd love to coach with you and do some more stuff. I love your attitude and your perspective. Thank you so much for joining me.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, brother. Take care. Have a great weekend.
You bet.
All right, Lucas Rubix, you got it. In 2.5 hours, we got training how to pitch, a pragmatic thing, and then you can go to Lucas, figure out how to implement the pitch. I'm going to take one more question, and then we're all going to meet. Here we go. One lesson you find hard to teach younger people: to ask for help. Lucas and I both are working at that as well. Be grateful, ask for help. 2 hard lessons to be consistent at. I don't know why. Yes, I do, because you're an ego-based consciousness. You have a need to be right, offended, separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, resentful, all these things, guilty. Don't do it. Live in peace. Live at neutral. Let's do this together. Join me every Friday for the last 20 years, 11 a.m. today, 2.5 hours from now. Join me at training. If you have any questions or need anything, david@dmeltzer.com. Free books, exercises, and guides. Everything's there for you. Or join my text community, pinned below, 949-298-2905. Most importantly, everyone, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Have a great day. I'll see you in 2.5 hours.